first thing I want to ask is just about, I guess, about your process, but really, with this film in particular, did it start with some kind of seed you just couldn't, sort of like a visual seed that you just couldn't let go of, or some kind of feeling or a sense or a place that really kind of like gave birth to this film?
Yeah, it was the opening scene. I had the opening scene in my head for maybe 10 years, but I had no film to attach it to. And then we were just about to shoot my previous film, Ennis Main, and then the lockdown happened, and we got postponed for a year. Turned out to be a year, we didn't know how long it was going to be. And my agent said, while you're in lockdown, why don't you write a new screenplay? Which is a brilliant idea in theory, but I don't tend to have many ideas. So, and especially when there's a global pandemic going on, I had no thoughts about anything. But one night, me and my partner Mary, who's in the film, who plays Mrs. Richards, we laid in bed and I said, before we go to sleep, we've got to come up with an idea for a film. And she said, have you got any ideas? And I said, no, of course I haven't. But I have got one scene, and I pitched her the scene. And she said, great, where does it go? And we sort of worked it back and forward between ourselves until we'd got a rough outline of the story, all in that one night. And then we went to sleep, and we woke up in the morning, and it was the pandemic, so we stared at the wall for 12 hours. And then in the evening, when we were having tea, I said, I've been thinking about the film all day, and she said, yeah, so have I. And then I really knew that we had something. So then I spent, well, I thought it was going to be a short period of time writing a script, but turns out writing something with time traveling is really difficult to write, because you change one thing, you think, oh, that's great, and then you read it back, and like a character, a really important character, suddenly can't exist because of something you've written. So it was, yeah, that was the beginning and the process.
Fantastic. And Callum, for you, I mean, the whole experience on this film, approaching this role, getting ready for it. I guess the first question is, were you familiar with Mark's work in advance? And so was prep different for Liam, just in terms of sort of like the production stuff?
I was familiar with his work, yeah, because Bait was such a big film, especially in England. And it's meant too. The prep is no different. The interesting thing about Mark is that he calls you in for rehearsals for 2 weeks, I think he wanted, right? We got
I think I was pushing for 3 originally.
We got 1 week, and we went swimming a lot, and we hung out, went to restaurants, and the great thing about Mark is he's built this community in Cornwall. Mary has been in 2 films before, and she helped write this one, and Ed also, but behind the scenes too, there's a real community of Mark Jenkins, what would you call them? Troop of
Disciples.
posse. So
Mostly my family and
mates,
friends.
yeah. Mark's mum came to set most days, right? And she would say, I'm just passing by. And you said, well, that's a 30-minute drive out of your way.
Well, sometimes it was a complete dead end. There was no way that she could have been passing by.
Just in case, just to pop down. She's also in the movie too. She's in one of the pub scenes. But yeah, it was important for George and I to actually be accustomed to their ways. It was a privilege for us to join them. You know, we weren't trying to infiltrate in any way other than just join. So those beach trips that we went on were really important, and the swimming that we did together, bonding each other was vital.
What is it